none other than, y'all, she over there hyping me up already. I'm feeling motivated already. Listen, I have none other than track and field Olympian and entrepreneur, the one, the only Miss Priscilla Loomis. What's up, Priscilla?
Yes, queen. Let us elevate. Let us talk. Girl, I'm all here for it. How are you doing, queen?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am exhausted, happy, thriving, living my best life. So there are no complaints. No complaints at all.
I love it. Listen, I can already tell this is going to be an amazing podcast. We actually almost forgot to record the podcast. We just got caught up in talking at the beginning of the call.
That's how it be. Like, that's what happens when sisters come together. Thanks. And we be talking about elevation. This is what happens. But as long as you press that record, boo-boo, as long as you press that record.
Straight facts. I love it. Okay. All right. So we're going to just jump right on into things. We're going to start off with a little game called This or That. Now, for some of my new listeners who are out there, This or That is a game that's going to allow us to get to know Priscilla a little bit better. So we're going to present Priscilla with two options, and in a swift amount of time, she's going to have to select one of the two. All right. You ready, Priscilla?
Right. Girl, I'm ready. I was born ready. Let's do this.
Hey, let's go. Okay. Podcast or books?
Podcast.
Okay. What's your favorite? What are you listening to right now?
So I will say, I should have said book because I have been reading books. I do both, but I say podcast because can I say audiobooks? It's like a best of both worlds.
Sure. Okay.
Let's do audiobook.
Okay.
I am listening to right now Lovey Jones, and Lovey Jones, she wrote a book that I also did read, called I'm Professional Troublemaker. There it is.
Yes.
And she is so incredible. I absolutely love her. And she was just speaking to my soul. And so I wanted to listen to her voice. I wanted to listen to her perspective. And so that was great. And I also am listening in terms of podcasts, I would say the Office podcast.
No, you don't. Not with Lady and Lady. That's one of my favorites, Priscilla.
No, it's not. No, I love it.
Look forward to Wednesdays.
I love it. And because I have such a huge crush on him, and my husband does know this, the New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brothers, girl, yes, it is long. It's long. Them episodes, they need to be chopped down a little bit. But yeah, we listen to that. My husband listens to podcasts every morning. So I have Colin in my ear every morning. He's like my wake up alarm. And then, just sports. We do listen to a lot of sports in this household to stay relevant. But I had to give a shout out to Lovey because she does such a great job, and she's such an empowering human being. I love her.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Long ass answer. My bad.
Great choice. Okay. Hot cereal or cold cereal?
Cold cereal.
Okay. What's your go-to?
Fruity Pebbles.
Okay. I like it.
It's been my favorite cereal since I was probably 12. Yes. I don't want to hear that healthy nonsense. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time.
Okay. And what's your go-to meal to make?
Mussels.
Ooh.
Yeah. I live in Wildwood, New Jersey, and so it is a shore town. It is a beach town. So if I can, it's something that I will always make, and then I always try and have like a charcuterie board with it just so that I can elevate my experience. But mussels and like a garlic in a garlic sauce. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. You're a whole chef.
I love to cook. Yes. I love to cook.
Oh,
yes,
cool. Yes. All right. So let's jump into our questions.
Let's do it, girl. I'm ready.
All right. So let's start with, who is Priscilla? Tell us about your childhood. What do you like to do? Where'd you grow up? All the things.
Priscilla is a unicorn. I will say that. She's a unicorn, or you can call her a mermaid. She is vibrant. She is over the top. She is too much. She is all the things. And she's unapologetically herself. And it took a while for her to get there. So I was raised from a single parent household. which was a lot. I learned a lot, but I saw my mom struggle. I saw her rise. I saw her courage and her tenacity. And so that shaped a lot of my views in life. And I went to Catholic school all my life, and I was never enough. I wasn't Spanish enough. I wasn't Black enough. I was never in a box. And so for me, it was just me trying to find my box, and then realizing I'm a whole freaking octagon, right? Like I'm not even a box. So it was really just a journey of finding myself. And I started running track at 6 years old, and having people, dealing with sexism, racism, colorism throughout my entire career. Going to Catholic school and being a Black Catholic, which is a unicorn in itself. And then, going into high school and trying to fall in love with my passion, which is the arts. I love entertainment, and I wanted to be on Broadway, and realizing that I needed to have track and field be my platform and be my stage until I could have time to audition and do all these things. So it's, my journey has been up and down, and then, becoming a professional athlete in 2014, representing the country of Antigua and Barbuda, and doing so to get closer to my roots, to getting closer to who I was, to sort of find out why my father was such a piece of crap, and understanding why he was and made those choices, and to finding out what my DNA was, right? So it was all of these things, and I wanted to put the country on my shoulders. I love pressure. I thrive under pressure. And putting respect on the country's name to, Antigua and Barbuda, people still have no idea. They're like, Antigua and what? Barbados? Bahamas? I'm like, nope. Very different countries, guys. So things of that nature. I realized that I needed to take hold of my narrative. I needed to take hold of who I was, and very much be unapologetically me, and not try and fit in, because as corny as it sounds, I was made to more than stand out. I'm a unique creature in itself. And so, going through that and becoming a professional athlete in 2014, medaling, and then making my first Olympic Games, to crying every day at the Olympic Games, to having an Olympic hangover because all those people that supported me were gone because I didn't win a medal, right? And, and then getting married. So it's been such a journey of finding myself, but now I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm coming from a place of abundance and happiness and love and success and growth. And I've taken that Olympic mindset, and I've literally stamped it in my DNA to always come from a place of positivity and hope and empowerment for everybody else, so that I can be the rising tide that lifts all ships.
I'm feeling inspired and lifted already. And that was just question one, Priscilla.
We got a long way to go, girl. Here we go. Grab yourself a glass of something and keep it coming. Let's go. Let's do this. But yeah, no, I mean, it is one of those things where I think when people have seen my journey, I really did take hold of my narrative. And even though people didn't see my value, I wasn't valued because of the color of my skin, or, being in an interracial marriage, and, people frowning on that, and, being myself and finding myself. My character disrupts a lot of people's titles, and that makes people uneasy. But I realized, and I'm very proud to put on my resume, that I am a failure, right? I'm a fighter and a failure. Like, I'm not afraid of that. That is nothing that I'm ashamed of. And people ask me every single time, did you mean to put that? Hell yeah, it's intentional, bro. Like, I am not here to say that everything was, was a beautiful love story fairy tale. No, I am a product of my failures, and I'm very, very proud of what I've done. So my journey is my own, my story is my own, and now I'm taking my narrative back.
I love that. And it's so rare that you find other people who like embrace and lean into failure. Like here at the Success Playbook Podcast, we run towards failure because we know that that's our opportunity to learn. That's our opportunity to tap into our next level. Like we
that's
thrive in failure.
success.
Exactly.
That is success. It literally is. It's such a key part of success. And so I know so many pro athletes who have, millions of dollars are like, oh, failure is part of success. But you and I are both thriving and happy and at peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's success. And we're okay. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I'm so blessed to be on this podcast and for them to be highlighting you, who is absolutely incredible. And have been on this and are at this level of incredible heights, and to open up the conversation of, hey, look, we have a multimillionaire, we have an Olympian, we have, CEOs, we have entrepreneurs, we have billionaires, and they all talk about failure. It's the same thing, boo-boo. Like, you got to learn it. You have to be able to do it and be able to take that narrative and learn from it. Because other than that, then that's just quitting. That's giving up, right? So I love talking about my failures, 100%.
I love it. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into your failures too, because I want a specific example.
Yes, I got you.
Awesome. And so what school did you go to?
I went to St. John's University in Queens, New York.
Okay.
Go Red Storm.
Go Red Storm. And I know you're into track and field, but do you watch, well, of course you watch sports. I know you listen to sports podcasts. So who are your teams? Who are you rooting for?
So I will say I am just getting into, I am about to be a very big all-female sports, don't care what it is, supporter. So get ready for that on all of my timelines. Y'all ain't ready for it. Hey. But I'm from, we're right outside of Philly.
Yep.
Philly fans are real. Do not
I'm a Philly sports fan. I'm a Philly sports fan through and through.
Yes, through and through, right? We are irrational. Mm-hmm. We are loud. We take up so much space, and I love it. So it matches my personality. So the Philadelphia Eagles are a huge, huge team that I absolutely love. When it comes to, I'm a college sports fan. I love college sports. So I'm an LSU fan. Love LSU through and through. Mm-hmm. I'm not that major into basketball, but I'm about to be for the women's basketball for the WNBA. So
let's go.
Those are my two big teams. Baseball, I'm a Yankee fan from New York, of course, absolutely. But I love the Phillies. I will support the Phillies, of course. So those are my big time ones. Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you on. So professional women's football has really been taken off.
Yes, it has.
Like the DC Divas, they're a good team to follow.
Oh, I will. I'm about to do it right now, girl. I'm about to do this right now. And it's funny because I did a speaking event at the Super Bowl, and I met I met Odessa Jenkins.
Okay.
And Odessa is, I believe, the head of the Women's Football League. Like she started it. Like she was the founding father of this movement. And so, she was the founder of the women's football. So I met her. I spoke on a panel with her, and she was great. She has invited me to play. I am 100% here for it. I just need to get better and bulk up so I can take a hit. Unless I'm a quarterback. I could be a quarterback. That'd be dope. But I'm here for it 100%. I'm hoping I can get out to one of the games, but I am all here for it. Absolutely. And even, with The Rock, he's doing, the XFL. So, it's great to see. And hopefully we can open it up to the women's league as well. So, but yes, definitely check out Odessa Jenkins. She's pretty awesome.
I'm going to connect with her on LinkedIn. Thank you for that.
I'll connect you. Child, please. One quick email. We're done. I got you.
I love it.
Oh, yes, of course. Absolutely.
Get you some friends like Priscilla. That's number one. Okay.
Step one. Step one, girl. Yes. I'm here to be an ally. I always say that. That is my purpose in life. I love to connect people with other people and just make sure people's circles are strong, elevated, empowering. Yes.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So this next segment of the show is called Put Some Respect on My Name. Period.
Period. I love it. I love it.
So Priscilla, for all of our listeners who are out there, they may not be aware of like everything that you do. So can you walk us through some key moments and some of your career highlights?
Oh my gosh, of course. Absolutely. Where do I begin? Let's do this. No, so I will say there have been a lot. I was involved in pageants when I was younger. And so I got into that world, and, you know, not being enough in that has made me a lot stronger. But I'm very grateful for the pageant world for accepting me and showing me a lot about myself and what sisterhood looks like, because it was, even though there are some inner workings that may not be that great, I had a great experience, and the girls were really great, and they were very loving and sweet. So I would definitely, you know, love to shout out what they're still continuously doing and giving out scholarships. But I was a Big East champion. You know, competing at the NCAAs was absolutely incredible, and becoming an All-American. And then, you know, going to the 2015 Pan American Games and becoming a silver medalist at the Pan American Games, and going to the Olympic Games, and then medaling all across, you know, the world, and traveling to places like Australia and competing at the Commonwealth Games, competing at World Championships, indoors and outdoors, and becoming a silver medalist again at the 2019 Pan American Games, becoming a 2-time, you know, female sports athlete of the year for my country, being a national record holder, becoming the current national champion. You know, it's the accolades are a testament to how much I would not give up when people wanted me to. And, you know, and I'm very proud of everything that I've achieved, right? And to now becoming a very, very proud quitter of toxic environments and toxic relationships. I'm very, very proud of that. To becoming a CEO of my company and becoming an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, to, you know, becoming a nonprofit founder. And so as I go through it, you know, I'm, you know, now into podcasts, and now I'm going to start hosting different shows and kind of exploring that. And I am, you know, a side actress, and I loved, you know, working on movies like Hustle and being featured in, you know, Disney Plus, and just not blocking my blessings and just being open to what God is wanting for me in my life. And so the accolades are great. Like I can be like, yes, I'm a content creator, I'm a world traveler, I'm a health and, you know, wellness advocate. But the biggest thing is that I'm a failure. I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. I'm a badass, and I'm unstoppable. That means more to me. So I have medals. I've traveled the world. I've been an Olympian and all that kind of stuff. But being who I am now and being a positive representation is what is most important to me. And having other people be empowered by me is what's most important.
I love that. And so what did you do on Disney Plus so our listeners can tune in?
Yeah. So it was through Instagram. They said, are you, you know, inspired by Marvel? And if anybody knows me, I love Marvel. Like, it's my essence. So I always wanted to play like a Disney villain or a Disney superhero. And I was very much empowered by Marvel growing up. And it was in a very different way because, you know, Marvel wasn't what it is now, of course, but, you know, the comic books and, you know, my stepdad used to collect them and all that kind of stuff. So I was introduced to it at a young age, but they were looking for women who were impacting their communities that were inspired by Marvel. So I went out to LA and I filmed behind a green screen, and they asked me about who I was and how I was inspired. And my episode was around Gamora. And Zoe Saldana has always been such a powerhouse to me, because when you look at her biggest movies, and one of the biggest movies of all time. So, you know what I mean? So you have Marvel, and then you have, Avatar, right? And so when you look at her genres and what she's able to do, and, she's Hispanic, and she's, part Black, and she's doing the thing. She's doing it all. So that was the episode. And I got to talk about my nonprofit, and they put clips of, my mom and I, and my family and my husband, and, it was very, very cool. So, and then they turned me into a cartoon character at the end. So it was very, very cool. So it's called M Power, M as in Mary, Power. And it was season 1, episode 4.
Season 1, episode 4, M Power. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I'll definitely be watching, because that's amazing. I will tell you, it fell in my lap, and I am in awe of that it happened, and that but it's also taking a shot on yourself, right? Like, somebody could have been like, I'm not going to audition. I'll never get it. I don't ever block my blessings, ever. And I don't think anybody should ever. You never know what could possibly happen. You never know what's meant for you. So keep saying yes to yourself and show up for yourself. And that's part of the journey to success as well. Yeah. Yes. All of that. So, Priscilla, how did you, what was the journey to get into the Olympics?
I hate keep saying it, but it was a lot of failure, right? So I started in 2012. I went to the U.S. Olympic trials, and I was seated dead last. And I made it to finals and placed 7th. And unfortunately, the U.S. found no value in me. They didn't think that I was going to do well. And rather than take that narrative, I was like, nah, I'm pretty good. So I want to do this. I wanted to invest in myself, and I wanted to see how far I could go without giving up on myself. And so I, the beginning of 2013, I had moved to Virginia to work with a training group out there. One of the girls was from Antigua and Barbuda. And that's how the process started, because I wanted to put the country on my back. I wanted to find out more about myself and who I was and where I came from. And so I realized they didn't have a high jumper. And even though I kind of knew, I knew very, very little, I wanted to know a lot. And so it opened up the doors for me. So in 2014, I became a dual citizenship. I received dual citizenship for the country of Antigua and Barbuda, and started competing for them internationally. And so the way that it works, it's different with each sport, but with track and field, it's a world ranking. So, and this is a brand new system that they put in place. So you have to be top 32 in your field in order to go, unless you automatically qualify. So, and there's a standard that you have to hit, or they go based off the world ranking. And so that's how that process works. And so for this last one in 2021, I was 28, 30 in the world. And then unfortunately I got COVID, and I couldn't compete all of indoor season. So I got bumped down to 36 and I missed out on the Olympics by 4 spots.
Oh, that was this past year, 2021?
That was 2021.
2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But prior to that, you competed and you won.
I competed, and I had actually pulled my hamstring at indoor world championships 4 months prior to the Olympics. Oh. And I was so determined to make the Olympics that I was like, I will do anything and everything to make this work. So I rehabbed, and I qualified for the Olympics. Antigua and Barbuda selected me to represent for female track and field athletes. So awesome. I went with a few of my teammates. Our whole country had, I think, 9 to 10 athletes in 2016. So then I competed. I did not win. That was not and it was funny. It was not the goal for me at all. Yeah. It was not the goal for me to win.
I just wanted to get in.
And that was one of the biggest things that I was so surprised afterwards. I didn't plan after qualifying. I didn't plan anything. I was like, oh shit. Like, this was it. This was the goal. Like, that was it. So then when I got there, I was like, oh my God. Like, what do I do? Like, what am I here for? Right. So it was one of those things where I wanted to experience everything that it had to offer. So I went out and I saw other events and I looked at the village and, you know, I really, really wanted to enjoy it and experience it. And I wanted to just compete, give it my all, and make a really positive impact for the country. And so I think I ranked 27th, 28th. And for some people that's like horrible, but I was just so excited that I was healthy. I was competing. I did something that took 8 years, right? And so it was one of those things. And I was still medaling internationally at different meets. But it all comes down to the day, right? And a lot of these people who were competing, it was their third or fourth Olympics. It was my first one, right? And so it was a great experience. I will never ever take that away. Yeah.
Absolutely. And first of all, the fact that you even made it to the Olympics, how many people can say that?
1% of the population.
Wow.
Actually, I'm sorry. I think it's less than 1% of the population.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So 27, 28, 29, 30, it doesn't you made it. You was there. Okay. And the people who probably have something to say probably have never even thought about going to the Olympics.
Yeah. So. It's funny. Yes. People will always, Rihanna has never been more spot on. People will talk whether you're doing bad or good. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to keep them talking.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. I love the part in your story where you said you tried out to compete for the U.S.
Yes.
And you said that they didn't see value in you.
Yes.
So you changed your atmosphere. And
changed everything.
Yes. And you was like, okay, I know I'm the stuff. So that's on y'all. Let me go on over here where they value me. I love that.
You have to. And it's not even so much, I wish the administration of Antigua and Barbuda valued me. They did not. The people did. People love me, which is so humbling and amazing. It's literally where my husband and I are going for our honeymoon because we wanted to get back on the island. He wants to see the island, so I'm super excited. But I realized I was putting too much stock into what other people cared or said about me. What do I say about myself?
Yeah.
What do I want to be remembered for? What's my impact? And so things that were meant to break me, things that were meant to keep me down, I chose a different narrative. I chose a different story for myself. And it is very much, again, because I saw my mom struggle. And I saw that no matter what, people are always going to count us out or say whatever they want to.
Yeah.
But what am I putting out? What am I saying you're allowed to say about me? And so I love proving people wrong. It is such a superpower for me. I love shutting people up. I love it. It's what's driven most of my career. So it was something that I knew I had more left in me. I knew that I had more to give. I knew that I had more to offer. So I went back after I found out that the U.S. really didn't see my value, saw the value of my damn self, and changed location, changed mindsets, changed everything, changed my surroundings. And so was it easier? No, but easy won't ever get you there. Was it challenging? Yes. Did I fail? Yes. Did I fall? Yes. Did I get back up and win? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's all that matters.
I love it. So what are some of the core philosophies that you live by?
I will say now, like I have a tagline, right? And of course, I'm going to plug my new journal my new notebook that I have, right? So I am partnered with Dutch and Deckel, and I wanted to make sure that everyone remembered this, right? So the big things are: be the rising tide that lifts all ships.
Mm-hmm.
Don't block your blessings.
Mm.
Huge. Lead a life with excellence, impact, and insane confidence. Because that's huge, right?
Insane confidence.
Insane. Mindy Kaling said that. And I love Mindy Kaling. And when she said it, it kind of validated how I felt. So I was like, yes, I'm now marrying this to my life.
I think I'm going to adopt that too. But
yes, I absolutely love it. And I'll send you a journal, and I'll send you a book so you can have it and you can remember it all the time. I think another one is that I am a disruptor, and it's okay to be a disruptor. And who I am is non-negotiable. I think there's a lot of things that I try to make myself small. I try to lower my voice. And now I'm loud and happy and here. So I think it's setting boundaries and being who you are is an absolute non-negotiable. So those are definitely the things that I live by, and everything that I learned from the Olympics and being a professional athlete and just an athlete in general. I'm married to everyday life, and I show up for myself, and I stay humble. I stay hungry. I am just, really intense about being authentically me. So those are some of the things that I definitely stand by all the freaking time, staying and doing it consistently and believing it every single day, the good, the bad, the ugly, reciting it to myself and knowing I have value, knowing I have worth, knowing I'm not a non-negotiable. Don't block my blessings, be the rising tide, pour into my cup, lead a life of excellence, insane confidence. It's what I repeat to myself every single day. And then it just becomes kind of like a habit, right? It's muscle memory. So anytime that is being disrupted, I know that it's not meant for me.
How did you get to a place where you tap into insane confidence, or where you're just so safe with being authentically you?
I was so tired of other people controlling my narrative. I was so tired. And it seemed like everywhere that I went, I was too much. Everything that I did. But then in certain rooms, people would applaud it and be like, that's beautiful. Don't ever stop. So I realized I was in the wrong rooms, one. And then I was putting stock into people that I didn't need to. And I felt better, and I was giving off a better energy when I was myself. And I could be myself. Yeah. And I realized that there's nothing wrong with that. And this is my gift. And that's when I tapped into my passion and my purpose. And it just kind of went from there. And I will say that my husband never asked me to whisper. He never asked me to shrink. He never asked me to change or do. He's like, be you. I love you exactly how you are. So having that surrounding is also very helpful, right? Having that at home. So I think it is a journey, and you start to realize, and as you get older, you start to just not give a shit about what other people say. As you get older, it's a beautiful gift. You have one life to live. It is disrespectful for me and to me to make myself small and not live in my excellence. It's disrespectful. And I won't do that to me. Absolutely not.
I love that. It is disrespectful to me to not say that again.
It is disrespectful to me to not live in my excellence.
Yes. And I'll even take it a step further, just because I'm like, I'm a Christian. So it's disrespectful to God to
when
not live up to my
When he blessed you with all these fabulous gifts. When he blessed you with this life, when you have so much to be grateful for, and you're letting some little peasant over there make you feel small? Are you out your mind? We don't do that.
Facts. I love that.
And
okay, I got sidetracked because I had so many questions. No, go ahead. Keep going.
That's it, honey. Like but it took a while, right? It does take a while. And you've got to feel so sure. But I also, it's everything. It's a process, right? And my habits became that. I lived an entire life of just being selfish because my sport came first. People don't allow themselves to come first. That's disrespectful. Selfish is necessary. That's it. It's not an arrogant word. It's not a bad word, right? Yeah. You have to be in order to show up for other people as at your best, you need to be selfish. You've got to pour into your cup. And so, it is disrespectful. And like it's funny when people talk bad about themselves, like if somebody says, oh my God, I look so fat. I'm like, don't talk about my friend that way.
Yes.
Don't disrespect. Like,
I love that.
And that's it. You have to quit the toxic environment. You got to quit the artificial sugar, things that I follow, things that I'm eating, things that I'm watching. It all feeds me. It's my nutrition. It's my soul food. And that's what I hope to be for somebody else. I hope to be soul food. I don't want to be junk food.
You want to provide substance and nutrients. Yes.
Good. Stick to the ribs. Stick to your ribs. Yes. 100%. Yeah. So, it is. And do I still feel that I am not Black enough? Do I still feel like I'm not Hispanic enough? Am I not an athlete enough? Of course. Yeah. 100%. But that's, something that I'm working on. But the people that really support me and love me and know me, they show up for me. And I deserve to show up for myself because they show up for me. 100%.
I love this. And I love how the overlying theme of your story is just having the confidence to show up authentically as yourself.
100%.
So we talked a little bit about success, how you define success. So I wrote a book called The Art of Taking L's. So we know that, an L is defined as adversity, failure, some sort of loss, et cetera, et cetera. So we talked about a lot of your L's so far on the podcast, but if you have one specific moment,
yes,
and you can pinpoint, share with us how it shaped you ultimately for your journey.
My biggest L. And I will say that it all kind of works together, right? So I think my biggest L, it was a part of maturity and it was a part of growing up, was putting my value in other people and really not going after everything that I wanted. I wanted to be Beyonce. I wanted to command the stage and command presence. And when people told me that I wasn't good enough, I believed them. And when they made fun of me for dating a white kid, I believed them and we broke up. And when somebody didn't like my hair, I cut it. And I spent so much time trying to please other people. I spent a lot of my life saying yes to everything, feeling bad when I had to say no, and not valuing myself enough. It's literally my biggest regret. It's my biggest L, because now I look at myself and I would tell myself, how disrespectful of that. Like, how can you go through and be who you are and speak what you speak when you put so much stock into other people? So I think that is one of my biggest L's, and it was obviously a learning lesson, and I've learned so much, and now I'm unstoppable and I can't be tamed, right? But I think it's something that I wish growing up, I had a little bit more strength in being different and being the outsider. 100%. I think that's my biggest L.
I love that. Your biggest L is not having the courage to just show up as yourself
at a younger age.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who I could have impacted. I don't know who I could have helped. I don't know if it would have changed my journey. I'm very grateful for everything that I have, and I'm very humbled by all the opportunities. But I'm preaching to these young girls now to adopt my mindset, because I want them to learn from my mistakes. I want them to get that at an earlier age. And so, but it is hypocritical for me to be doing that, right? Like it is me being like, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. But again, I think they see me now and they see how confident I am, and they see how much power and stock I put in myself and in my words and in my values. So I think, if anything, my actions do speak louder than my words. And, you know, I am moving forward. That's the message that I want. But that is my biggest L. Yeah, I will say that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but honestly, it shaped you into this big, unapologetic giant. So it was an L, but come on, like,
it was
this
a win.
Is the result.
It was a gold medal. I will tell you that. It has been such a journey, and to find it and to feel so grounded in it.
Yeah.
It's like an immovable mountain.
Yes.
It's good.
I love it.
All the good things.
So I have a lot of aspiring, whether it be professional athletes or aspiring sport professionals, like, you know, who want to be on the business side listening to my podcast. So what is some advice that you'd like to give them, just based on your experience?
So if you're talking about if they want to go after a goal, or specifically athletics?
Specifically athletics.
Okay. So in terms of athletics, I would definitely find a plan that works for you. My plan literally looked like me swallowing my pride, moving back home, living in my mom's basement, and training with my high school coach in a little gym, you know, eating the meals my mom made, sacrificing, missing things, and just staying the course.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, again, it's about showing up consistently, and it's going through it, and stop saying, I need to be this far. I should be doing this. Your journey is exactly as you make it, right? So whatever you need to do to take a step back and plan your journey, plan your steps, plan your day to day. So whether that's, I started my first company, which is a cleaning company. So I was scrubbing toilets in order to make my first Olympic Games, so that I wasn't on my feet, because I was advised, just be a waitress, just be a bartender. It's a lot of work. And when my body is my tool, I can't just serve. And when I need to go to a meet, I can't just be like, Toodles, can you give me the best shifts so that I can do this? So it was thinking outside the box to make the goal work. And you're going to have to drive certain places. You're going to have to meet with different people. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot, but it's showing up consistently for the end goal, whatever your Olympics are, whether it's to make, the World Cup, whether it's to become a billionaire, whether it's to be a TikTok star. You've got to show up consistently every single day, because it becomes muscle memory. You have to create positive habits. And that's why the Olympic mindset is so important, because you've got to do these things every day, not just every once in a while. And you've got to find that. And whether that's, I had a sports psychologist, and you work with them with money and finances. You have to have a good nutrition plan. You've got to have good coaching, right? And good coaches are hard to find, but they are there. There are people out there that know the struggle of being an up and coming athlete, but you've got to show up for yourself And that's when other people start becoming attracted to your consistency. You can't just be like, I'm here, I'm training, I want to be a professional athlete. You got to say, hey, I need guidance on my journey to so-and-so. Can you help me on this journey? Right? Show up, swallow your pride, shut your ego down, and do the work.
I think that was amazing advice, and that can apply to anybody. Like, I think a school teacher can take that and apply it. Like, some of these college students who are looking for their next job, it can take that and apply it. So
I think there's a lot to be said for people's journeys and people's goals, but it's consistency. It is the biggest rule. And once you can show up consistently for yourself, it's a saying, light attracts light, right? Good-hearted people attract good-hearted people. When you're consistent people will show up for you.
Yes. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes left.
All right.
But I want to hear, in this power round, I want to hear a little bit more about, so you're speaking at Notre Dame.
Yeah. I leave.
Tell me about that.
I leave tomorrow morning, yes. So I have my motivational speaking service, which is Priscilla Loomis, LLC. And I literally marry the Olympic mindset to everyday life. It is it's empowering, it's impactful, it's uplifting. I sing, I dance, I act, I do like a whole, I learned how to motivational speak from comedians. Because that's my personality, right? Like, that's more of who I am. Yeah. And so it has been so incredible. I speak on leadership development, women empowerment, wellness, and of course, the underlying theme of the Olympic mindset of just showing up for yourself and your excellence and turning obstacles into opportunities and, consistency. And so I love what I do. And I did this organically, right? And that was the thing. I showed up for myself every day, and I was emailing people every single day, and I was, creating flyers on my own, and I was investing in myself. And so now we are on year 2 of my company, even though I've been speaking for over 10 years. And I have like seasons, and this is the end of the season, and I'm ending at the Play Like a Champion National Conference at Notre Dame, at University of Notre Dame. And so I am running a panel. And then I will be speaking at the dinner as the keynote speaker on the Olympic mindset. And I am kind of premiering. My husband and I are speaking for the first time. We're sharing a stage, talking about creating a culture in sports, in athletics, for the rising leaders of tomorrow. So I'm super excited. I'm super humble and blessed, but I know that this is my passion and my purpose. And I've spoken at summits, I've spoken at schools, and I always say this, when you have a speaker, it needs to be memorable. So take one thing from my speaking, take one thing from who I am, take one thing to add to your foundation. I am a brick that will never, ever crumble. I will never waver. You can stand strong and rely on, whether you follow me on social media, whether you're buying my journals, I will always be a representation of hard work, dedication, resilience, and God's love. So that is my business. I absolutely love it. I partner it with my nonprofit. So 10% of all my fees go to my nonprofit, which is supporting single parent households, women empowerment, community advocacy.
Wow. First of all, the being on stage with your husband, can you send me a video clip of that? Because hashtag couple goals.
Yes, I'm telling you, that's one of the things that we just auditioned for the New Heights show. They're doing like a beer Olympics or beer battle right in the town next to us. So we applied as a team. So we really love working together in the media field. He is a history teacher, so he knows history, he knows sports. And, I know sports, and I know motivation and empowerment and, hot topics. So we have our podcast together, and it's great. And we love working together. So, girl, you already know it's about to be all over my social media.
Yes. Hashtag couple goals.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this last 60 seconds.
Yes.
I'm going to set the timer.
Yes.
In this last 60 seconds. I want you, which you've already done, to just give words of encouragement and empowerment to our listening audience.
They got 60 seconds.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to set the timer. And go.
Okay, so if you are listening to this, I really want you to believe in how powerful of a game changer you are, and that we need your light, we need your spirit, we need your impact. We need you exactly as you are. And so I really want you to understand that you are limitless, you have limitless potential, your words matter, and that you have value. You are right exactly where you need to be. There is nothing that you need to change. Do not come from a place of lack. Continuously show up for yourself. Continuously show up for your habits and your purpose. You are exceptional. And I hope that you can look in the mirror every day and tell yourself what a badass you are.
Yes. I love it. 60 seconds on the dot.
Was it?
I feel so 58, 68.
Woo!
I feel so empowered. I have chills. I receive every word of that, and I hope the audience did too.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you. It is when you tap into your potential and you tap into your purpose, it's a game changer.
Yeah,
it really is. And that's also what has helped me. And it's a hard journey to be an entrepreneur. I mean, you starting this podcast and you writing your book, like it's a process, but it's in that journey that you find so much of your strength. And so I'm incredibly humbled that you have invited me on your show and that you are shining a light and being an ally for especially women of color. And I am so proud of you. I wish you nothing but success and excellence as you move forward. And please know that if you need anything, I'm here for you.
Thank you so much. Same here, Queen. The love is mutual. You really blessed us today. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there is literally no one like this lady, none other than Priscilla Loomis.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.